At some time towards the end of the Second World War, 1944-45, Fred Leveridge and Harry Gerson, founder members of the club and who are still life members, together with a Mr. Hugh Tracy, who was the head of the SABC Durban office studios and had much influence in the affairs of what went on in Durban, together with others, put pressure on the city council to build the Durban model yacht pond, which was a swamp at the time. The swampy area was excavated to make the pond. The mud banks were replaced with concrete blocks dismantled from school air raid shelters. Amazing how many spectators there were those days watching these 10 raters and marbleheads. No radio control boats in those days. They were all vane boats, and one had to put the yacht in the water and run along the concrete blocks to guide it to the other side and back again. We were blessed to have Fred Leveridge and Harry Gerson visit us at one of our open days in August last year. Here they are, mulling over old times, sitting in the clubhouse. Here's Dave with the club's marblehead. Notice the old cars in the background. Here you can notice the vane control on this marblehead and the building of the clubhouse. In the background you'll notice the old bridge and the Whitehall flats. These are modern day power boats. In the old days they used a pivot point in the pond to anchor their boats to so they could go around in circles. Eventually around 1970 radio controlled yachting emerged, and this took off and the sport of radio sailing became very popular, and the club gained a number of new members. At this stage, Durban was the only venue in South Africa with a proper model yacht pond. This led to the South Africa being awarded the right to stage an international radio controlled yacht regatta and many more SA National Championships events. The long hard battle to save the pond after it was destroyed by the City Council in late 2009 to make way for the additional grass areas for picnicking for the 2010 soccer tournament. Thanks to the then Commodore Peter Heathcote, Vice Commodore Roy Lorenz and the committee, they fought the council and together with the KZN Department of Environmental Affairs won their case. They stopped the council from filling the pond with sand, a great achievement. It took 2 years for the situation to get started, when no sailing could be had during this period. In April 2012, they started moving, and eventually the mud and debris was removed and the pond restored, but not to its original condition. Here we have the committee on the rescue boat doing soundings of the pond and Terry Flynn doing the recordings. A portion of the clubhouse was handed back to the club in 2012. Ian Geeling converted this 65-year-old marblehead from a vane boat to radio controlled, and here it is being sailed by Dave Denley, who last sailed one of these 60 years ago. Here are some examples of warships and boats built to scale from the master craftsmen of our Durban Radio Boat Club. These guys really put everything into it, tugs and everything that you can think of, all built to scale and radio controlled. Frank Wadsworth made a yacht called a waddy, and this is an example of one of them, and this is a little speedboat, you can see there, very nice. Another tug. Rowan Sears tug. Those water cannons actually work, and it also has sound effects for motor, etc. Frank's normal size waddy with fancy sails. Rob Walter's Sparrow, built from a New Zealand plan. Roy Lorenz J.R. Moore tug on the water. Mark de Lange's pilot boat. And here's Frank's double-size waddy valued at about 30,000 bucks. The late Daryl Michelle with his waddy. Here's some powerboat racing at the club. Check these boats how fast they go. Some of them reach 80 kilometers to 100 kilometers an hour. But check around towards the end of this video and you'll see a lovely crash.
Whoa!
On the first Sunday of every month, you can see the RC radio control lasers on the pond having a regatta. Off to a good start here with Bjorn, Denny, Clive and Joe leading the field. The second Sunday of the month, you can see the 1 meter boats in action. This is the start of the first race. Third Sunday sees the DF95s on the water. Bit of a collision there in the buoy. But otherwise, they're going very, very well, Most enjoyable. And the fourth Sunday sees the RG65s in action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Somebody, but that's 14 was over, but let him go. Go. He'll give me a win.
Mark's boat was out of action, so I asked to give me a win, but he wouldn't listen to me then. Anyway, it was a lovely race, today. I think you guys all enjoyed it. Finally, the professional loafers meet every Wednesday at 9:30 for lekker coffee, sail and braai afterwards. Wow, what a fantastic day we had at the pond today, with 4 lasers and 1 RG65 on the water. Kids from the Friendship School enjoyed the sailing, let them sail our boats, and they enjoyed it so much. Then it was braai time. Hargreaves supplied us with some fantastic vintage red wine. Thanks Terry, those wines were fantastic. As you can see, there's a couple of dead marines just now, and then we had the braai, and off they had, as you can see, lovely braai meat on braai there. It was fantastic. What a lovely day. Some of the bottles of red we clocked. Then the best port I've ever tasted. It was lovely seeing all these kids enjoying themselves. It's fun. Lovely items input from the school. Some of them sailed my boat and they loved it. John McDonald's lovely tug on the water there. It was lovely for them to have scale, no wind. It was fantastic for them to sail. And Gunther's beer carrier, it came across there, tried to help us. Fantastic. He didn't give us any beers though. Thanks to Dave Wiseman and the committee for organising this wonderful Durban Radio Boat Club open day on Sunday. And also thanks must go to all the members who brought down their models, and as you can see from them, they are fantastically made. So much intricacy goes into it, and these guys have got great skill in making these models, right down from scale models, which is I think everybody enjoyed it. The members of the club plus the public really enjoyed seeing what was outlaid on the benches there. It was fabulous. Gunboats, etc. And here's Trevor's truck with his trailer and boat. Very nice and really turned out well. Then on to some of the 1 meters and even the marble head amongst that lot. And Dave briefed us on what's going on. 15 minutes each section. Was very nice of him to do that and got the things going. And then these are all the powerboat section. They got ready for the powerboat races that were going to come later on, and every section had 15 minutes to have a go at. And the little old geese even joined us too, the babies and all. And there's Halo's tugboat with this huge engine really gets going, and it really turned out very well and really gave us some fun seeing it travelling in the water so nicely made too, isn't it? Fantastic. A couple of guys, another tugboat there, very nice, one in the background. And this is a fully submersible submarine, and it goes under and up fantastically well. And this looks like a support craft that's on the water there. So I managed to get a few snaps of those of the things. And then there's our Marblehead, a 65-year-old Marblehead boat, restored and converted to radio controlled. This picture didn't come out too well. And here's some guys, all the guys sitting watching from across the road. I think the powerboat racing and the laser, next lot was the laser racing and 1 meters. And they got off to a good start and took off on the pond there. The bodies and in the beginning there, you can see the Marblehead in the background. And then in the very background, the lasers.
Yeah. They come out, so we get right back here.
1 meters of to have a race. They did a nice race there. Terry Flynn commentated on it and told everybody what was happening, who was coming first, etc. And there's a few 1 meters going on the tack there down to the buoy. I think they're just about finishing the race there. Some of the spectators and the guys on the other side of the pond. Then it was on to the powerboat racing, and this is the first race they had, and you can see those boats really move. This is the bigger sized engine boats. You can see by the spray how they really move and travel like a bomb. A couple of little waddies in the foreground there just having a nice sail. I didn't mention right at the beginning of that video, if you look very carefully in the beginning, there was quite a smash up the top end of the pond there, and as you can see later on, I think 2 or 3 boats had a bit of a mishap. I think they either capsized, whatever, but it was very much enjoyed by everybody, especially the spectators. This was the most spectator watched division of our club. The crowd built up quite well on the other side there, checking out the boats and having a look, as you can see from the pic now. Then it was on to the smaller boats, the smaller engine boats. As you can see, the spray at the back isn't as high as the other ones. They go quite fast anyway. They really move. These are the things, the little motorized boats. Very nice. This is Paolo, who took the boat and sprayed the kids' water there. Some of the kids had fun in the water, trying out their gumboots, etc. A couple of guys still on the lasers watching the race going on there. Then we had a visit from a crocodile. This is a motorized crocodile. It was quite fun. The kids quite enjoyed that. People were saying, don't put your feet in the water, you can get bitten. It was quite fun. People really enjoyed seeing that too. And it was on to maybe the final race of the day. It was an exhibition of the powerboats again. I'm sure everybody, including the spectators, the members, had a fantastic day morning at the pond, and it was really fun. And that's it for now. So, ciao. Thanks again for everybody involved.
Mike DeLange, a master craftsman of our Durban Radio Boat Club, decided to build a 4-cylinder V4 steam engine way back in about 2016-17. This was built from scratch using his tools and a lathe, and he also built this fantastic boiler to go with it. Hope you checked out those miniature valves and miniature dials, etc. Fantastic. This is now a completed product which he completed around about August last year. You can see now the boiler, etc. is connected to the motor with all the necessary controls, valves, and and safety valves, etc. It is quite fantastic to see this. Then on to construction of the actual boat or steamboat that's going to be used for this steam engine. Made of foam there, he cut that up and made it. Now that's the fiberglass side of it. He's made that as a mold for the hull, and testing out the motor on top of it to see where it's going to go, and the boiler. And there we are. He's got that made provision where it's going to go. I think he's decided where it's going to be going now. And this is the fiberglass hull that he's molded from that polystyrene or whatever it was. And there, sitting inside the boat now, he's got it all ready to test out in the pool. And here he is putting it in the pool and making a few adjustments there to see with the weight, etc. And he seems very pleased with that. Looks like it's going to be very sturdy or steady in the water, and let's hope that further on we'll be seeing the actual completion. Mark enjoying a braai at the Wednesday Professional Loafers, and with Pete and Tony. Watch this space for further developments with the steamboat.
Even though the sailing is so wonderful down there, we enjoy ourselves with sailing and having a lekker braai and what have you, we also have the privilege of seeing lovely bird life on the pond. As you can see, there's lovely pelicans catching fish there. Amazing. Mommy and Daddy Egyptian geese with all little babies. Goliath heron. Green heron taking off. Besides the other birds, seabirds, this is a fish eagle, which they love hear this haunting call quite often at the pond.